Alright, so we're back on the video grind. I'm back home in New Jersey, and I decided, let's go back to the tier list. Let's go ahead and make some more controversial videos, because you guys seem to love the videos where it's more opinion-based. We get to have a conversation, we get to talk, we get to argue. It's good stuff, it's all fun. So for today's video, we're going to be doing our third tier list on the channel. We did ranking the MLB teams, we did ranking the shortstops, and for today, we're going to be doing the third baseman in Major League Baseball. These videos are fun to do. I love ranking, I love being able to talk about all the players in baseball, give you my thoughts and opinions on them. Of course, you guys can give me your thoughts and opinions, because I know you guys are opinionated. You tell me how much you disagree with me in the comment section below, but keep it up. I love to have this conversation. I love being able to talk baseball with you guys. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this tier list down in the comment section below. Remember to leave a like on this video if you do enjoy it. If you want to see more of this kind of content, leaving a like's the best way to let me know that. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, this is the place to be. I got nothing to do now that I'm home. I don't got a job. I'm graduating from school, so we're going to be on that YouTube grind. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any of this fire content. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description down below. It's the best way to continue the conversation. You can send me your versions of the tier list. I'll let you know if I agree or disagree. And then I got to plug my sponsor real quick. SeatGeek is the best place to go get tickets for any event. If you want to go to a concert, or if you're like me and you want to go to a sporting event, specifically baseball. So you either download the app on your phone or you go to SeatGeek.com, you pick what tickets you want, and when you go to check out, make sure you type in the code GIRAFFE to save yourself $20 off your first purchase. So go to SeatGeek, use the code GIRAFFE at checkout for $20 off, and be a happy guy. So we're over on tiermaker.com. We've got our third baseman tier list right here. We got all the starting third basemen, or all the guys that are pretty much getting significant time at third base in Major League Baseball. We've got S tier being the elite, that's the cream of the crop, and then you've got F tier, the worst. I think it's simple as that. A is pretty much all-star level, pretty close to elite. B is good players, maybe not at that all-star caliber level just yet, but they're still really good. C is right around average. D is below average, and F, of course, is trash, like I said. So let's get started. We've got Alex Bregman, one of my favorite players in the league. Alex Bregman is definitely going to find himself into S tier. He's a top 10 player in the game, in my opinion. Hits for power, gets on base, plays great defense in the field, can steal a base or two. I'm a huge fan of Alex Bregman. He has definitely got to be an S tier. It's a good way to start off this tier list. We're starting off with one of the better players in the game. Travis Shaw plays a little bit of everywhere, can play third, can play second, can play first, maybe even the corner outfield. Travis Shaw is a pretty decent player. He can swing the bat, not off to a great start in 2019, but he definitely has some power. He's an okay fielder, so I'm going to drop him right in the B category because I don't think he's average. I think he is above average, but he's not all-star just yet. Manny Machado, one of the most controversial players in all of baseball. Say what you want about this guy. A lot of people think he's a jerk, that he's bad for a locker room, he has a bad attitude. I don't personally see it. I think he's a really good ball player. You look at his numbers, you go, yeah, I don't really care. He hits 300 every year. He's going to hit 30 home runs. He's going to play Gold Glove defense at third base. Manny Machado is a stud. He's 1,000% an elite third baseman, so he gets dropped into the S category. Evan Longoria, since coming to the Giants, has just been absolutely atrocious. His offense has completely tanked since making the move to San Francisco. Yes, that ballpark is not hitter-friendly, but he was a really good player with the Rays. He's good defensively still, but his offense is just not there anymore. The dude is bad at the plate, so he's going to get put in the C category. He's just an average third baseman at this point in his career. Josh Donaldson, good third baseman. Had this been a few years ago, he's going into the S tier, but he's had some injuries. He hasn't been putting up the numbers that we expect from him. Still a good player. I still think he can come back and be an all-star caliber guy, but right now, from what we've seen the last two seasons, including this year, he's just in the B category. He's still good at third base. He can still swing the bat a bit, but he's not back at that all-star or even MVP caliber type player, so he's going to go in the B tier. Asdrubal Cabrera, loved him for the Mets, had some great seasons for us, but the last 2 years has not been kind to him. He didn't play well with the Phillies when he was traded there. He has been off to a terrible start with the Texas Rangers. He's not great defensively at third base. I'm going to drop him in the D tier because he does still have a little bit of pop in his bat, but he is struggling big time. Asdrubal, not a great player anymore. Rio Ruiz, he plays for the Baltimore Orioles. F tier. He's hitting like 250, I get it, but if you look at what he's done in the past, he's god-awful, and I don't think he's even a 250 player. I think that's the absolute best you get with him. Rio Ruiz, I'm sorry, my guy, just not a very good player. Orioles fans, you know it. If you're arguing that, oh, he should be D tier, really? We're going to argue about whether a player should be F or D? Rio Ruiz is an F. Marwin Gonzalez, I'm really torn here. I'm between B and C because he had that great year with the Astros a few seasons ago where he was doing a lot for them. He's a utility player. He's all over the place. He plays every position pretty well. He's kind of average defensively everywhere. His offense has definitely taken a step back recently. I think I'm going to drop him in B, though, because I think he still is a better hitter than the likes of Evan Longoria, who I have in C. His defense isn't bad, So I think I'm going to drop him in B, but he's definitely right on that border for me for B and C. Anthony Rendon. You guys know I'm a Mets fan, but I love how Anthony Rendon plays the game. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the game. He's going to be in the elite tier for me. I think Anthony Rendon is an absolute stud. He destroys baseball. He's such a good hitter. People don't realize how good of a hitter he is. He's also great in the field. Big Anthony Rendon fan. I think he's definitely an S tier third baseman. Gio Urshela. Having a career season thus far with the Yankees, he's pretty good in the field. He's got a nice glove over there at third base, but I can't throw this guy anywhere above C right now. He's playing very well this year, 100%. He's hitting above 300. Nobody expected this out of Gio Urshela. But you look at what he's done in the past. He's been in the major league since 2015. He hasn't done anything offensively prior to this season. He's off to a great start, don't get me wrong, but you can't think that he's going to be playing at this kind of level for the entire season. If he does, I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. But Gio's just not better than a C-grade third baseman. Maikel Franco, very much improved, but still doesn't get it done for me. I think he's a great number 8 hitter in that lineup. Like, as number 8 hitters in baseball, he's probably one of the best. You move him up in the order, you hit him 3 or 4, he's really not that same kind of guy. So for those reasons, he's going to be put in the C tier. He's just okay defensively. He can hit for some power. He's definitely improved, don't get me wrong. But Maikel Franco doesn't scare me. In the 8 spot, good. But he's not one of these top players. When you think of B, A, S, these are guys who are changing the game in the middle of the order. Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant's a player that I personally don't think is elite like some people have him. But I think he's still a very good ball player, and he's definitely improved this year. He's shown he's got some of that power back. I'm going to drop Chris Bryant in the A tier. He's an all-star caliber player. He's won the MVP in the past. He plays a pretty good third base. He's starting to swing the bat a little bit more like we saw, so he's probably finally healthy because last year he did battle with some injuries. Chris Bryant definitely has the potential to go into S tier, but right now he's an A tier player for me. Still really good, just not there just yet. Brandon Drury. Brandon Drury's going to be F tier for me. Pretty horrible. Doesn't hit. Defensively, he's whatever you want. Who cares? Brandon Drury's not great. He lost his job, obviously, to Vlad Jr., so he's out of there. He's an F-tier third baseman. Now we got Hunter Dozier of the Kansas City Royals. Similar situation to Urshela. He's having a career year at the plate, but the big difference is he's not great defensively. He's a pretty average, below average third baseman, but he is hitting the ball well. He hasn't had as much time in the majors as Urshela has, but I'm going to drop him in the C category because right now, while he is having a career season, I can't forget what we've seen in the past, and he has been starting to come a little bit more back down to earth recently, so I think he's a C tier type third baseman. Jung-Ho Kang! Driving drunk, gets arrested, staying in career, he's finally back and he's looking terrible. He's hitting like 190 or something like that. Jung-Ho Kang's looking terrible. He's an F-tier player, just not good anymore. And it's a shame because he came up as a rookie and he looked great and he just hasn't been good since. JD Davis for the New York Mets. He's having a career year at the plate as well. Defensively, not great, but I like what I've seen out of him. I'm going to drop him in the C tier. Let me just preface this. I think that Urshela, I think Maikel Franco are all better than him. But I think JD is an average third baseman. He's swinging the bat well. He gets on base. Defensively, he's not great, but he's a pretty good hitter. So I'm going to drop him in the C tier. Yandy Diaz of the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, another player having a career season, but what we've seen in the past, not great. He's hitting for a lot more power than he has in the past. Defensively, again, average. These are C tier players. There's a lot of C tier at third base. There's just a nice bit of elite at the top, and then there's a lot in the middle that are all kind of similar. Yandy Diaz is part of that, C tier. Zach Cozart. This is tough because he's been horrible. It's D or F for him right now. I think I'm going to drop Zach Cozart in the D. This is tough because he had that career season with Cincinnati a few years ago, but ever since coming to LA, he has been atrocious. So he's either D or F. I think I'm going to drop him in D for this, but yeah, Zach Cozart's not been good. Daniel Robertson of the Tampa Bay Rays. Doesn't offer much at the plate. He's like a 250 hitter at best in his career. He's not hitting well this year. He's pretty good defensively. I'm going to drop him in D tier. He just doesn't hit, and at third base, I need someone who hits the ball a little bit. Yes, fielding is important, but if you don't offer anything offensively, you kind of don't matter to me at third base. So Daniel Robertson's going to be D for me. David Bodie, another one of these guys who's just not anything special. He's not really meant to be their third baseman. I'm going to drop him in D tier. Again, not great offensively. Defensively, he's whatever you please, but David Bodie hasn't really been great in the majors. He had that walk-off grand slam, and that's about it. So I'm going to drop him in the D tier. Colin Moran. You might remember he was traded for Garrett Cole to the Pittsburgh Pirates from the Astros. He was kind of like a big piece in that trade. Hasn't really lived up to the hype just yet. He hit 273 last year, but you're kind of expecting more when you trade him for a guy like Garrett Cole. I think I'm going to drop him in D tier. He's right in between D and C for me. He's not off to a great start this year. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be that kind of player the Pirates thought, I'm going to drop him in D tier because I don't think he's absolute garbage, but he's definitely underperforming. Rafael Devers, definitely not the player that we expected to be there for the Red Sox at third base. You were expecting a lot out of this guy, but he's still extremely young. He's having a good year this year. He's hitting for some average. The power's just not there yet. Defensively, he's all over the place. It depends what stats you look at. It'll say he's average or he's below average. Right now, I'm going to put him at C tier. He obviously has the potential to go into that B tier category if he continues to play well this year. But similar to a lot of the guys in the C tier, having career years, so it's kind of interesting. I don't know where to put them just yet, but he's pretty much average right now. Vlad Jr., the guy I'm wearing on my jersey. This is probably going to make people a little bit angry that I'm going to throw him in the B tier right now because he's only played, what, like 15, 20 games, and he's just starting to get hot. But all we've been hearing about is how good this kid's going to be, and what we've seen recently has only confirmed that. He is an absolute beast at the plate. This is a game changer when he steps into the batter's box. That's something that's very important. He's going to be a middle of the lineup kind of guy. Defensively at third base, he's average. He's a little bit heavy, so he's not really going to probably end up being there for his entire career. But if you watch this guy hit, you know he's a stud. He's going to be B tier for me. He obviously, of course, will probably be an S tier in a couple years, but he's not there just yet. Todd Frazier. If you guys follow me on Twitter, or if you've watched any of my videos about the Mets, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Todd Frazier. In fact, I really don't like him as a player. I don't think he's very good. I don't understand why we signed him. Dropping Todd Frazier in the F tier. Todd Frazier has just been atrocious since coming to the Mets. He's not even hitting for power, and that's at least what he would do when he'd hit 220. He'd hit home runs. He's not doing that with the Mets. The dude's never balanced at the plate. He's always lunging. He's a dead pull hitter, refuses to hit the ball to right field. He's okay at third base defensively. He's not making tough plays, but he makes the plays he should. He's probably a D tier, but I'm going off what I feel, and Todd Frazier has been an F for me. Just get him off the Mets, please. Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman is so close to S tier. He really is. I just need to see a little bit more out of him, so I'm going to drop him in A. Best fielding third baseman in the game. That's what's being said, and I honestly can agree with it. He makes some incredible plays over there. Hitting-wise, he is definitely still a very good hitter, but I need to see this full year before I can put him in S. He's obviously got incredible talent, but I just need to see a little bit more of him, and then he's going to go right into S like he belongs. Nolan Arenado, the best third baseman in all of baseball, top 5 player in the game. I'm going to move him in front of Alex Bregman because I think he deserves to be at the top of S tier. Nolan Arenado is just so incredibly good. At the plate, he destroys baseballs. He has a cannon of an arm at third base. He's going, making plays left, right, diving. He's got incredible range. Again, the second best fielder behind Matt Chapman and arguably could be tied with him for just as good. Nolan Arenado's a stud. You got to love this guy. He's clearly an S tier. Jose Ramirez. Incredible last 3 seasons, MVP type player this year. He's been absolutely atrocious, so that's going to drop him in the A tier for me. I don't think that this year is indicative of the kind of player he is because we've seen 3 seasons where he was an extremely good player and he was getting better and better every year. But this season, he's definitely taking a step back, and right now, that step is going to drop him into A. If he keeps it up, he's going to find himself in B. But I've seen what he's done in the past, and yes, 2019 does matter, but you can't ignore what he's done in the past. He's got to be in the A tier. Yoan Moncada, having a career year now. He's playing third base instead of second. He's hitting for some power. He's hitting for average. But again, career season. What we've seen in the past has been extremely disappointing. This is the guy they traded for Chris Sale. You expected to be a superstar type player. He hasn't lived up to that just yet, but he is playing better. He's in the C tier. He could probably find his way into B later on in the season if he continues to play well. Again, another player having a career season after having years of just mediocrity. Ryan Healy for the Mariners. I want to put him in D, but he has some power. He definitely has some power at the plate. He hits a ton of doubles, so I'm going to drop him in the C. Defensively, he's probably more of a first baseman or DH, so not great at third base, but he can definitely swing the bat for some power. His average isn't great. His on base is okay, but I like the power that he has, so I'm going to drop him in C. Definitely the lower tier, though, right in between C and D, like C-. Eduardo Escobar is an interesting player. I'm going to drop him in the lower end of B, higher tier of C, because Eduardo Escobar last year had a career season. He's playing pretty well this year thus far. He's an extra base hit machine. He had 48 doubles last year, along with 20-plus homers. I mean, this is a guy who's going to be putting up 70 extra base hits a season. That's really good at the plate. He plays pretty good defense at third base. I think that's a B-tier kind of player. He's not one of these guys who's going to be hitting third or fourth for you, and you're like, oh, Eduardo Escobar's coming up. But he makes a difference. He gets the extra base hits. He drives in the runs. I like Eduardo Escobar. He's going to be a B tier. Matt Carpenter, for me, had a great season last year, but I don't know, man. He's just a weird kind of player for me. He goes in these incredible hot streaks and then gets ice cold. He's not consistent enough for me to get in that A tier, but he's definitely a good player, so I think B's the spot for him. Again, he's just not consistent enough for me. This guy gets on base pretty well. I mean, he'll slap the ball all around the field, but he just doesn't get it done consistently. So for me, Matt Carpenter's B tier. Justin Turner. Really good third baseman. Borderline S tier, but I'm going to drop him in the A. I think Justin Turner's really good at the plate. One of the more underrated third basemen in the game. He's really good at third base as well. Makes a lot of nice plays. He had a little bit of an injury problem last year, so staying on the field, he's got to do that more consistently. But I think Justin Turner's a really good player. A tier. He's definitely all-star caliber. Jeimer Candelario. That's going to be dropping into the F tier. Jeimer Candelario is not a good ball player. 220 last year. He's hitting like 190 this year. He's not very good at third base. Definitely a bit of a letdown for the Tigers. Jeimer Candelario, not a great player, F tier. And then Eugenio Suarez. I think Suarez goes ahead and drops into the A tier as well at third base. He's had some fantastic seasons over the last couple years. He's improving every single season. Power's getting better. Fielding's getting better. On base is getting better. He was off to a slow start in 2019, but he's starting to get hot a little bit again. He's starting to hit again. So I think Eugenio Suarez is definitely right in between that A or B. But if he continues to produce like he has the last few seasons, he's definitely an A tier type third baseman. So here is my final tier list ranking of all the third basemen in Major League Baseball. I would love to know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. Let me know if you agree, disagree, if you think someone is rated too highly or too low. Let me know in the comments down below. Remember, leave a like on this video if you do enjoy it and you want to see more of this kind of content. I'll keep doing every single position as long as you guys want to keep seeing it. So make sure to leave a like if you want me to do more. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. This is what I'm doing for my job for the foreseeable future. So if you love baseball, this is the place to be. We're going to be grinding out that content. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description down below to both of those. And of course, head over to SeatGeek.com, use the code Giraffe at checkout to save $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching. I love making these videos, so I hope you guys do enjoy them. That's going to pretty much wrap up today's video. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not seen them yet. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.